I go work like a doctor. When I rock the mic, you got to like the way I operate.
Hello, everybody. My name is Renault Bean. Everybody calls me Pep. I'm your host for LidLine Sports, along with my co-host, Lil O Stevenson. What is up, Lil O?
What up, my brother?
Good. Granville is in California, handling business for the Seattle Prep Panthers, and they won today, beating Mission Prep out of California, I believe, 55-40. So kudos to Granville on that. Oh, how was your weekend?
Pretty chill. It's getting too cold to be doing anything out here in Seattle, so.
Yeah.
How's yours?
Well, I had my booster shot on Saturday.
Nice.
And so, that was around 11 in the morning. And after that, we went to see Spider-Man. That in and of itself was kind of an adventure because we were downtown and we went to the theater. And of course, the show that we wanted to see was quite crowded, looking at the seats. So instead of going there, I suggested we go up to Northgate. But, of course, Doreen didn't say, she said, I don't want you to have to drive all the way up there. That kind of, I'm like, hey, it's cool. I don't care, And so we decided, all right, we'll do it Sunday. But then a few minutes later, we decided, let's go now. And it's a good thing we did because we went and saw the 12:40 show up at Thornton Place. And then, so we watched that and it was good. I'm not going to give up any spoilers. So, you don't have to worry about closing your ears, folks. It's all good. And then, so later on that night, we went out to the Blue Note in Tacoma, had a good time. My arm started getting a little sore though, when I was at the Blue Note, I couldn't elbow nobody, in case something happened, but I was kind of worried, but anyway, it was cool. We had a good time. We met up with some friends from high school and all that. We old, so it's good that we could still do that. So I got home and man, my arm was killing me by then, bro. It was like, man, I could barely lift it over my head. So went to bed, woke up Sunday morning, arm still killing me. Went to the, used the restroom first thing in the morning, and man, I was woozy and nauseous. So man, that booster killed me. My whole Sunday was in bed. I didn't get out of bed till 5 o'clock to eat. That was it.
At least I know not to get it during the week now. Okay.
Yeah. So, well, it's fortunate I did it Saturday because if I had done it Sunday, there's no way I would have worked today.
Yeah.
But I did get up and go to work today. I wasn't feeling that great this morning, but I felt good enough to go. And so I went, and then as the day went on, I felt better. So, all in all, I feel pretty good now. Now that we're doing the show, I'm feeling pretty upbeat and ready to get going, man. So, did you see anything as far as Tiger Woods? Did you see that? The PNC Championship? I don't know if that was on TV, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Well, Rick just had had some updates on his show.
Yeah, I was listening to that.
And I was listening to, and it sounded awesome. I know that Tiger Woods and his son Charlie took second place in the PNC tourney in Lakeland, Florida over the weekend. The tournament's for champion players and a family member. So Tiger and his son Charlie hooked up. And so eventually, like I said, they came in second, but John Daly and his son John Daly too took first place, 27 strokes below par, 2 strokes better than Tiger and Charlie, of course, which they finished 25 under par. Last year, I don't know if you know this, but Charlie and Tiger finished 7th. So what a remarkable ascension from last year, considering the fact that Tiger had that terrible auto accident in February. Talking about golfing now, heck, and they were talking about taking his leg, he almost lost his life. So this makes this feat that him and his son Charlie had much more remarkable, to me anyway. and and it's so funny. And I've seen some highlights of and Daniel's got some put up right now. Thank you, D. Um, him and Charlie, man. Charlie is just like his dad. I mean, his mannerisms, of course, dressed alike, and the way he swings and carries himself, man, he's
Yeah,
just like
that's a
his
good
dad,
sign.
and that's a wonderful thing to see, don't you think?
Yeah, that was a beautiful swing.
Yeah, and no doubt Tiger Woods, has hopes that Charlie, will surpass his own exploits down the road. But man, at this stage, he looks like definitely he's going to be a future star, future champion, hopefully. So man, I wish all the best for that. And Tiger, of course, we know that he announced a couple of weeks ago that he's going to not uh, do so many tournaments, of course. And I just saw him there. He was you can see he's got kind of a giddy up to his
Mhm.
walk. So it's probably, I don't know, it's probably not going to be the same ever again because of the injury. But the fact that he's not going to be playing as much is kind of sad. But it's good also to see that you know, he's still got game. Because
Mhm.
man, him and his son came in second. They had 11 birdies in a row.
Nice.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, because they were way back and they fought all the way up to get to the second place. So kudos to Tiger, Charlie, and the whole Woods family. And also over the weekend, besides that, did you watch or hear about Jake Paul fight?
Yeah, I watched it. Well,
Oh, you did.
I watched the
I didn't
latter
watch it.
rounds.
Tell me about it.
I watched the
Tell
latter
us about
rounds. I think I tuned in around the fourth round.
it.
Um, Tyron Woodley actually did much better in this fight, besides the ending. He was actually
Hmm.
landing punches. He caught Jake Paul a couple good times. Jake Paul was actually bleeding from the forehead or around the eye area around the
Hmm.
fourth round, I believe.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, that sixth round, Jake Paul caught him with a nasty right hook. He faked as if he was about to go to the body. So Woodley, he came down, tried to block the body shot, and left the right side of his face wide open. And
Oh man, yeah. Daniel just showed the
yeah,
knockout right there. Good job, D.
that was bad. It looked kind of almost looked like exactly how he did Nate Robinson. Hopefully, nobody gets on me for that, but
Right.
it looked exactly kind of like that. A lot of people are saying that it was fake, that it was um, staged. I don't know. I just know that was a really bad knockout. I don't care.
It looked legit to me. I
Yeah,
have
it
no.
looked legit to me.
I mean, he caught him, and man, it was night night.
Yeah,
All Willie needed was a blanket and pillow, and he was
exactly.
set.
Yeah, it was bad.
No warm milk required.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I have mixed reactions, about this whole celebrity fighting thing.
Hmm.
It just sucks, especially I know for you, Pep. I mean, coming from the era you come from when it comes to boxing, and then
Hmm.
even me growing up as a kid, watching Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, and uh, all those type of guys, and just kind of seeing that boxing has kind of came to this. It sucks. And, I want to see two professional boxers fight. Uh, but
Hmm.
I understand that this is where the money is now when it comes to boxing. So, like I said, it's definitely like I said, it's a love hate thing. I definitely
But, you
rather
know,
see two professional boxers fight.
yeah, this celebrity stuff is drawing viewers,
Yeah.
which means more money,
Yep.
because right now boxing is in kind of a lackluster state, compared to, like you said, when I was watching it in my day, so to speak. With there's no more Muhammad Ali's and George Foreman's and Joe Frazier's and things of that nature. So now they've come to, it's almost gimmicky,
Yeah.
right? And speaking of that, on the undercard for this Jake Paul fight, we had ex NBA star Darren Williams fighting against ex-NFL star Frank Gore, who retired just this past year
Mhm.
on the undercard. And of course, Darren Williams won in a split decision. But if you looked at the memes on Facebook and Instagram and whatever social media that you involve yourself in, there was this one meme where Darren Williams is throwing a punch, and Frank Gore had that look on his face of horror, I guess, for lack of a better word,
Mhm.
as he was getting tagged, and that went all over. That went viral all over. It was pretty funny.
It was funny too. Darren Williams said after the fight that he said he was done. He said he'll leave it to the professional boxers.
Yeah, wise move, Darren. I'd say for real, one and done. I mean, he realized that boxing is hard, man.
Yeah.
You got to sit out there and you got to throw punches for, what, 3 minutes or whatever. People don't understand that is difficult.
Mhm.
Even for a minute. You try in your house by yourself so you don't get embarrassed.
Yep.
But try throwing punches for a minute and you will get worn out.
Mhm.
For real. People think that street fights, they only last like 30 seconds, most street fights.
And they'd be tired as heck after.
Because people, well, for one thing, you don't know what you're doing, or
Yep.
somebody gets knocked out real quick because they don't know what you're doing. So, when you see a street fight, get ready to don't get popcorn because you ain't gonna miss. You're gonna miss everything.
They just
don't last long.
They just look tired watching this. I didn't get to see. I didn't get to see this one. I just saw the highlights. They just look tired.
Man. Well, yeah. I mean, because you can see even professionals, in the late rounds, they are exhausted,
Mhm.
but they can still bring it. It's just amazing the kind of condition that it takes to be a professional boxer. Heck, even an amateur. You got to be in super shape. And now look, I know there's fat guys out there, guys that got bellies and carrying on, like Butterbean, if you remember him, boxing.
Yep.
But that's a different kind of, boxing's a different kind of stamina. It's not a marathon. You run a marathon or
Yep.
or 10K or whatever stamina. It's a different type of stop and go, flurry, this, defense, whatever. That's a different kind of stamina. And most of us that haven't started at a younger age couldn't do it. We we walk around, we think, oh yeah, I can handle this, I can handle that. Yeah, Gil, go ahead and get in a fight if you want to. You're gonna wish you hadn't after about 30 seconds. You're like, man, what am I doing? Shoot. When's the last time you've been in a fight, O? Hello? Oh, I think I lost O. Did I lose you? All right. Well, we'll see if we can get back to O real quick. I hope I'm still on. So we were talking about the Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley fight. Also, we were talking about Darren Williams and Frank Gore. So anyway, so enough of that. Hey, another guy has gone viral again. Tom Brady. Did you guys watch that? Tom Brady has gone viral twice today. But no, it wasn't for the fumble he had against New Orleans, even though that was kind of funny if you saw that. But Brady lost to the New Orleans Saints 9-0. Well, Brady, Tampa Bay. I'm sorry, no slight intended to Tampa folks. So they lost to the New Orleans Saints once again 9-0. New Orleans has beaten Tampa 3 out of the last 4 times they played. The only time that Tampa has won out of those last 4 games has been when it counted most. It was last year's playoffs when they won in New Orleans to beat the Saints and move on and eventually win the Super Bowl. So, but for the regular season, it seems the Saints has Tampa Bay's and Tom Brady's number. Since 2002, New Orleans has beaten Tampa 26 times and have lost only 14. So as Bruce Arians had said earlier, this ain't a rivalry because we haven't won enough. So that's that's truth be told, let me tell you. But anyway, back to what was viral with Mr. Brady, who had been shut out who hasn't been, shut out for 255 games, going back to 1955. Just kidding. Since 2005. Brady can't seem to figure out the Saints at all. Of course, like I said, except when it mattered in the playoffs. Anyway, the first meme was about when Brady was picked off and which sealed the Saints' win, and ran near the Saints sidelines and given the F-bomb to the New Orleans coach. And welcome back. Did you happen to see that?
No, my laptop just decided to update on its own. I don't understand where that happened.
Hey, brother, it happens.
We talking about what game was this?
The Tampa Bay and New Orleans last night when.
Oh no, I didn't get to see that game.
Okay, well, I was just talking about Tom Brady hadn't been shut out in 255 games.
Yep.
Yeah, since 2005. And, so New Orleans seems to have their number as they've beaten Tampa 3 out of the 4 times that Tom Brady's been in Tampa. And the only time that he's beaten them, of course, is when it mattered the most in the playoffs last year. And so I was mentioning that he's been a meme twice today. First time is when he got picked off against the Saints and stealing that win. And he ran over to the Saints sideline and yelled an F-bomb to the coach. Now, when I was watching it, I thought he was saying to the coach, where'd he come from? Because he didn't see the defender, there to pick off the pass. So I thought he was saying, where did he come from? But from what I understand, that he was giving them F-bombs. So, people are, it's crazy. Tom Brady is like, when he's winning, he wants to be celebrated. But when he's getting beat, all of a sudden he turns into a sore loser, like a child. This guy's 44 years old, man. Come on, chill out. You're not going to win all the time. Jeez.
Yeah,
now,
that dude, he hates losing. He hates losing.
Yeah, I get it. You know. But this is pro sports, man.
Definitely.
You're going to lose.
Yep.
These guys are pros, too. You're not the only pro out there. Even so Detroit, I'll get into that a little bit later, but Detroit won. But people forget these guys are pros, man. They got pride, So eventually things are gonna happen, turn around, and then they're gonna get a victory, every now and then.
Yep.
But anyway, the second time they showed him on the sideline looking at the Microsoft Surface tablet, and then he turns and chucks it, and of course he breaks it. And the funny meme was from what's his name? Forget his name. What the defender that intercepted the pass, CJ. I can't remember his name. My bad, guys. Anyway, he said he tweeted out that does anybody know where he can get a Microsoft Surface from because he has a friend that broke his. I thought that was pretty funny, indeed. So, man, that's. Man, that's crazy. So did you see any games yesterday that kind of sparked your interest?
I think the only game that I watched was the Dallas Cowboys game.
Oh.
And the Giants, yeah.
I watched Red
It was a
Zone.
snoozer.
I don't get stuck on one game. They highlights, and I love that. I can't, Doreen, she says, "Oh, you watching Schizo?" Because she calls it Schizo because it goes from game to game to game. She don't like watching with me, so she watches something else, either another game or she'll just do something else. But if I'm watching a game just by itself, she'll sit there and watch it with me. So that's cool. But that's hard for me to do because I'm so used to going from game to game, touchdown to red zone, this and this play, that play. I love it, man. I love all those different games.
I did catch the end of the I caught the end of the Ravens and Packers game.
Yeah.
That was a good game.
I saw most of that actually. I didn't realize that Lamar wasn't playing because, like I said, yesterday I was wiped out.
Yep.
So I was pretty much knocked out for a lot of Sunday. I woke up around 12:30 and turned on Red Zone, but then I fell asleep again. I didn't actually get conscious till like 4 o'clock, and stuff. Here in Seattle, 4 o'clock is when everything's about to go finish up before the Sunday night game. So I saw the Packers ending, and so man, what? Let me just get into NFL Pep Talk right now. Let me just get into it. Week 15. It's been a week of COVID. Several games were moved Saturday, which was the Raiders and the Browns, to Monday, in which they've already completed. The Browns lost 16-14, so that's good for my Steelers. So the Browns lost and the Raiders won. Raiders are, who knows which Raider team is going to show up for some of these teams. Which Raider? Yeah, I don't know. I just about every game I picked yesterday was trash. I picked Cincinnati over. I picked Denver over Cincinnati. That didn't work out. I picked New England over Colts last Thursday or whatever day it was. That didn't work out. I picked the Cardinals over Detroit. That definitely didn't work out.
They whooped them too. On top of that,
I picked Tampa over New Orleans. How'd that work out?
Yeah.
Man. So, yeah, it's crazy. So anyway, today on NFL Network, Cleveland, the Raiders beat Cleveland 16-14. If you didn't see it and was taping it, I ruined it for you. Sorry. And so the Washington football team and Philly play tomorrow at the same time. Now, how do you like this? They play Seattle and the Rams, Philly and Washington play both play at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is 4 o'clock here out on the West Coast, Eastern Standard Time, Pacific Standard Time on Fox. Now, I imagine that we will out here get the Seahawks game.
Yeah, it'll definitely be split. Half of the country will be watching this Rams Seahawks game, and the other half will be watching Philly and Washington football team game.
Yeah.
That's weird to see. That's weird for the. It's gonna be weird for the Seahawks to be playing at 4 o'clock though. That is definitely gonna be a little weird.
On a Tuesday.
Yeah, on a Tuesday on top of that. Yeah.
I thought it was weird. I got off work today and came home and watched the football game.
Yeah.
Monday.
If you're a football fan, you're not complaining about having NFL football Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and then Thursday. So.
Yeah. So hey, I don't mind. I'm complaining there's no football on Wednesday and Friday. What's up? But anyway. So for those that wasn't sure of the times, there you go. We gave you the times. Tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Washington and Philly, and Seattle and the Rams both on Fox. So get ready for that. I picked Philly to beat Washington, so that means Washington will probably win. And then I picked the Rams to beat Seattle, so maybe... we'll see.
I kind of agree with you on that one, especially with the Rams. Not having Tyler Lockett is going to kill the Seahawks that are already.
Jalen Ramsey's back for the Rams.
And Jalen Ramsey's back. Odell Beckham is back. I think they will have enough. And I don't know if the Seahawks will be able to put up enough points. And I think the Rams will want to. Also, the defense will want to kind of chime off of what they did last week in Arizona. Put those two together. It's going to be tough for Seattle and LA on top of that.
Well, it's always tough for them with a full squad. So, especially in LA. No Tyler. Okay, so that means Freddie Swain, you're up. That's the way I look at it. Mm-hmm. Now let's see what you can do, what you got. I like him. I like Swain. He doesn't get many targets. But you know you're going to be. Look, you know that DK is going to get double, tripled, maybe.
Yep.
You know, so Penny Hart, Freddie Swain, D. Eskridge. You know, come on, it's it's time to see what you got now.
And then let's see what was it Penny?
Penny Hart. Oh, Rashad Penny. Yeah.
Let's see what Rashad Penny. Let's see if he can also, give us another game that he gave last week. Let's see if he can do as well.
Yeah, man, that's key because if the Seahawks can run, then everything else can play action and all that can fall into place. Because look,
Definitely.
All I'm looking from Penny is he had 15, 16 carries last week, 137, right, against the Texans. The Texans, we mentioned this last week. This is not new news.
Mm-hmm.
That they are the worst running defense in the league. Okay,
mm-hmm.
And we know that the Rams front four are formidable. They're just awesome, right? So I'm asking Penny if he can give me the same amount of carries. If they give him the ball that much, he get at least 60 yards. If he can do that, because that's 4 yards a carry. If he can do that, then they should be in good shape. Yep. And of course, and if he does do that, then they might be able to give him the ball more. So that means he can get maybe upwards of 20 carries, considering he doesn't get hurt. Then, man, that would be great if that could happen. But we shall see. And unfortunately, that's going to be tomorrow. So we won't be able to talk about that till next week. But we probably won't even discuss that much because since then, the Chicago Bears will have been in town and played the Seahawks. Of course, COVID pending on another delay. So we shall see. But the Bears right now are trailing 17-3 against the Vikings at home. So I'm hoping they can't come to Seattle and beat the Seahawks, right?
I hope not. It's time the Seahawks should be playing with some pride as well now. So
yeah. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to finish up NFL Pep Talk, and then, of course, we're going to go into some OT with Lil O. So don't go away. We will be right back.
This is Paul Pearson, host of StarTime, and when I'm not using my GPS to navigate the land of 1,000 dances, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio .world.
If you or a family member are 55 or over and need nursing home level care, but want to keep living where you are, check out Providence Elder Place PACE. This program offers healthcare, housing, transportation, and recreational activities. There are no co-pays or deductibles, and it's covered through Medicare and Medicaid. Providence Elder Place PACE works to keep you healthy and in your home. Call 206-320-5325 or visit providence.org Elder Place. Providence.org Elder Place.
Hi, it's your favorite Rainier Avenue radio host from the Clean Greens Living Live show. It's Queen Bree
and Robin T.
Our show is live every Thursday at 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with topics ranging from life on the farm, health and wellness, and race and social justice.
We feature guests each week with expertise in activism, entrepreneurship, healing, and food justice.
So come join your girls live every Thursdays at 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Clean Greens Living Live show. You can even call in and be a part of the show. See you then.
Yo, what's good? It's D Money, and you should definitely check out Fresh Juice every Wednesday, 9 to 11 Pacific, right on Rainier Avenue Radio.
With pint-sized Patron, P-Treasy to Don. Y'all be sure to clean your mirrors as we play brand new hip-hop and R&B from locals and worldwide.
It's ID Yourself, a.k.a. Malcolm Flex. Make sure you check out Fresh Juice every Wednesday, Pacific Standard Time from 9 to 11 p.m.
And to get those exclusive interviews that we begin
with a brand new Fresh Juice every single week.
Yeah, every Wednesday, 9 to 11, Rainier Avenue Radio.
Yeah.
Atlantic Street Center has been serving the children, youth, and families of the Seattle-King County area since 1910. We partner with families and communities to raise healthy, successful children and youth through services including counseling, early learning, youth development, domestic violence, and education support for school-aged children. Committed to serving the African American community, Atlantic Street Center provides services and support for all marginalized people. Learn more at AtlanticStreetCenter.org.
Rainier Avenue Radio.world is your 24/7 digital media hub. Tune in at Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and TuneIn apps.
Hey, welcome back to LidLine Sports. I'm Pep Bean along with Lil O Stevenson. I want to give a quick shout out to John Hughley, Bill Walker Jr., Michael Carter, Doreen Ng, Rhonda Dorsey, the usual suspects that listen to us. I appreciate you very much. Lil O, I want to shout out to also, you know what? I don't want to omit this as well. You can listen to LidLine Sports on the Rainier Avenue Radio app, Rainier Avenue Radio website, Facebook page, and also YouTube and Twitch. And so, you know, if you need to tune us in. You can find older shows past shows that we've had. Hey, I'm not Granville. Sorry, guys. I'm not that smooth. But yeah, we miss him. Granville should be back next week. He's down in California handling Seattle Prep basketball victory business, right? He won today, so we give him a shout out for that. I want to give a shout out to the Detroit Lions, who beat the country backyard whooping on the Arizona Cardinals. As I told you everyone before today, that yesterday I was pretty much wiped out. But when I did turn on Web Zone, see, I watched Spider-Man. Now I'm thinking about webs. Red Zone. I saw that score. I'm like, what? I'm like, man, what the heck? I can't win, bro, because I picked the Cardinals. I thought they would, beat them up.
I think 99.9% of people picked the Arizona Cardinals. So.
So I don't have to feel that bad.
Not with that.
There's that one person out there that's like, you dummy, I picked Detroit. Yeah,
there's a couple Detroit.
I know you're out there.
A couple Lions fans.
Yeah, I actually got a couple of buddies from Detroit that are Lions fans, but fortunately, I don't think they tune into the show. So, I'm good with that. So, Arizona got beat 30-12. So, even the Cardinals waved the white flag. They took Kyler out late in the fourth quarter. So, wow. I didn't expect that. A lot of times, coaches don't like to do that because, look, when you're getting beat, they're not thinking about the philosophy of my guy's not going to get hurt. They stand by the fact that, hey, you're going to take this L, you're going to take it to the end, so man, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Also yesterday, the Ravens head coach is getting a lot of flack for going for 2 to win instead of kicking the extra point to tie the Packers and send into overtime. OT. Well, speaking of OT, Coach Stevenson, tell me, what would you have done if you were in that position?
Now, maybe because when I play on Madden, I would have made the same decision. I kind of like putting the game on the line and trying to win it in the fourth quarter. I'm not going to lie. I did like the decision, especially when you don't have your starting quarterback in Lamar Jackson out there. You're also playing against Aaron Rodgers as well. I didn't have anything. I didn't have an issue with that decision. I know analytics said kick it and going into overtime. But me personally, I do think that more coaches, should take risks like this and, go for it, try to win that game in regulation instead of going into overtime. I had no issue with it. He lived and died with it. they died yesterday and they didn't get the game. They didn't win the game.
Well, they died 2 weeks ago as well.
Yep, same
they
thing.
Did that against the Pittsburgh Steelers at Pittsburgh. My point of view is when you're on the road, I'd say go for it. I go for it because I don't like going into overtime for home teams because it seems to favor the home team most of the time.
Good point.
So I had no problem with Harbaugh going for 2 in Pittsburgh. Plus, he had Lamar Jackson. This instance, I would have kicked it and sent it in overtime. And my reason is only because I did not have Lamar this time. If I had Lamar this time, I'd go for. Then yeah, I wouldn't mind going for 2, home or away, because that guy gives you options. If the play that they call isn't going to work, he can run and he can escape. Huntley seems to have that same type of ability. However, he's not experienced. So I wouldn't trust that. And as you saw on the play, he went straight for the play. Yeah. He didn't look for any other reads or any other options. He went straight to it. And everybody in the stadium and out watching the game knew that Baltimore was going to try to hit Mark Andrews. Yep. So it was so for that reason alone, for me, I would have kicked it and took my chances in overtime with Huntley because he was playing well.
He played very well
for the most part of the game. So I could give myself an opportunity. I feel that my defense can hold Green Bay from getting the touchdown. If they had to kick a field goal, okay, fine. But and then I would have the confidence to know that I think that we can either do the same or maybe get that touchdown in overtime and being home too. So yeah. So I'm not critical of what he did, but I just would have done it differently at that point myself. So
yeah, I think you definitely made a good point, especially with Huntley not necessarily making a read on the play. He went just straight for the first option.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as the ball, he got the ball, he went straight over there and tried to give it to Andrew. He didn't look anywhere else. Yeah. He didn't give himself the option of running, maybe, find a lane. He went straight to that. So he, look, he did what he was told. I can't blame him for that. But, if you got Lamar back there, Lamar can see that it's not going to work, and he'd make something happen.
Definitely.
At least something different. I don't know. So we'll see. But, no overtime for them. But we got overtime here at LidLine Sports because we're going to go into OT right now.
Yes, sir. Just like what's going on with the NFL, Pep, the NBA is being wiped out with COVID left and right. You now have games that have been postponed, multiple games. You have players who are reaching so far down into their G League roster to get available bodies for games. You have anywhere from 4 players to 9 players being put in COVID protocol. Brooklyn Nets were hit the worst, I believe.
Hey, let me ask you this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The NHL is going to be on hiatus starting Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
They got a pause for COVID. Do you see the NBA doing the same thing?
With them losing so much money last year, they're going to do whatever possible for that not to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think it will bring a better product on the floor consistently again? Yes. But I think the NBA is taking the other approach of trying to find better ways to either implement more protocols when it comes to testing for COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And also they're giving the NBA more leeway on being able to sign players without having to go over the luxury tax, which is, really big for a lot of these teams like the Milwaukee Bucks
Mm-hmm.
and Brooklyn Nets and things like that. But I just think just like the NFL, they just lost so much money last year that is the last possible result that they want to see right now. And what's going to hurt is just the product you're going to see on the floor. it really sucks. Like as a fan who's either purchasing tickets to go watch these NBA games or just a viewer who has NBA League passes. It's been a while. I think yesterday was the first time in a long time I watched a good game, and even then, both teams didn't have full rosters. I was with the LA Lakers and Chicago Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
The Chicago Bulls were missing Zach LaVine due to COVID. The Lakers have about a few bodies out with COVID as well.
Mm-hmm.
DeMar DeRozan looked. Oh my! DeMar DeRozan hasn't gotten much talk or pub this year so far, but he is looking like an MVP candidate. And he has been the rock for the Chicago Bulls, averaging 26 points a game. But he put 20 points up in the fourth quarter against the LA Lakers to seal that game. But it's really good to see DeMar DeRozan, who was with San Antonio Spurs last year, not really playing for anything, get an opportunity to play for something this year. But there's some silver linings with this whole COVID situation. Number one, what was that?
I said, tell us.
Yeah, number one, the Brooklyn Nets has decided to pull way down in their bag of tricks. And I don't know if you remember that guy by the name of Kyrie Irving who has been playing this year.
Man, that's Kyrie Irving, you said?
I think he's won an NBA championship. I think he's all-star.
Vaguely remember that guy. Yeah,
that guy who won't get a COVID. He will not get a vaccine, and due to New York mandates, he cannot play in New York. But the Brooklyn Nets have gotten that desperate where they are going to use Kyrie Irving as a part-time player starting this week. It's happened so fast that it really hasn't got to set in that Kyrie Irving is back in the NBA. And I think this was maybe something brewing since last week because he posted on Twitter a picture of him like in the gym. So, looked like he's just, started to ramp up training, getting back in the basketball shape. But as you know, Brooklyn Nets I think they have 7 to 8 players in COVID protocol, and that's including Kevin Durant, James Harden, LaMarcus Aldridge, and company. And the fact that, that they've had to renege on not wanting to use Kyrie part-time to calling him up and saying, hey, you're going to suit up out of town. And this is going to be interesting to see as the year develops. I don't think now if you're going to use them, I don't think that's something that you're just going to take away this option as well once the Nets get healthy again. So it's going to be interesting to see if, Kyrie opens up to taking the vaccine or going into the playoffs. Does he really just only play away games? It's going to be interesting. Now, Kyrie also is in COVID protocol as well. Now, I don't know if he necessarily has it or if he just needs to have multiple negative COVID tests until he can get back out there with the team again. I know their first away game will be on Thursday in Portland. That'll be a nice game for some Seattle people to go watch.
You going to drive down?
I probably won't, especially, if Kevin Durant and James Harden won't be there. But if you're a real Kyrie Irving fan, what was that?
I said, yeah, what's the point?
Yeah. If you're a real Kyrie Irving fan, it'd be nice to, get to see him play his first game this year.
I am, but I'm not going to go down there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I remember when he was in school.
What was that?
I remember him in Jersey when he was in high school.
Man. And I think that's when I started to fall in love with this game.
And I remember when J.R. Smith was in high school, too, because he had a brother, too, a younger brother that was in high school a couple years younger than him. So they were both really good, and they played in the New Jersey state championship. So I saw one of those games. So they were pretty good. I said, wow, those guys are pretty good.
Yeah.
And now JR is retired and playing golf now for college. So that's
playing golf.
How old I am. Man. Whoa. Wow.
So, yeah, we'll get to see Kyrie Irving here soon. And then another bright
game. I love watching Kyrie play. He's just so cool and smooth. But it's just all the other crap I can do without.
Yeah, and it kind of
that comes with it, so I'll take it.
I was about to say it kind of almost sucks that he kind of they're starting to become like he kind of gets his way, like with this whole situation now. Even without being vaccinated, he is going to get a chance to play part-time. And I'm pretty sure it's not ideal for him.
Now it's not the same part-time like if I went to Amazon and get $15 an hour, right?
No, he's getting millions of dollars to play part-time still, so must be nice. Not the same at all.
Man.
So it's gonna be interesting to see how quick he gets back on that. Like just like you said, with the type of game he has, he's just a free spirit out on the corner. I don't think it's gonna take much for Kyrie to get back into the flow of things, especially if he's gonna be without James Harden and Kevin Durant for a few games. He's gonna get up all the shots that he possibly can.
Man.
And he has no problem doing that because I don't know if anybody knew he was leading in shot attempts last year with all three of those guys. So
he'll be cheesing. He's gonna get a shot.
Definitely.
You best believe it.
And then another player we got to see return to the NBA, Tacoma's own Isaiah Thomas.
Nice.
A name that we haven't heard for the last year and a half. He has been rapidly trying to make his NBA comeback. You heard him playing with the USA Select team. Last he played for the Washington Wizards. He played all right there, even though the Wizards weren't that good. He played with the Nuggets. Not really too helpful there. But we all know that he had a nagging hip injury that he was dealing with. Almost ended his career.
Yeah, you got a chance to just chill and get healthy, right?
Exactly.
And then work. Once he got healthy, then work his way back into NBA shape.
Yep.
Went to the G League, tore it up. First game, 43 points, whatever. So Lakers said, "Up, come on back."
Yep. And I'm surprised. I wonder what other teams were interested in his services with the COVID situation. But just like you said, went to the G League, killed there. I think what was great too was Jeff Van Gundy giving him the opportunity, or however that worked out, for him to play in the USA Select team. That's when he first started to show, that he was getting healthy over the last year. And
that's a walking bucket, man.
Yes, a walking bucket. And then, I think over the last few years with Isaiah Thomas has always been with, especially not being 100% healthy. I think teams have been, wondering, is he going to hurt us more than help us? Especially a team that's trying to contend.
Well, they're speaking defensively, of course.
Yes, definitely. Because offensively, there's never been an issue. Even when he played, he still averaged 13 points a game. But yeah, his first game back with the Lakers, 19 points in 20 minutes, even though it came in a loss. He played well even yesterday, too, against the Chicago Bulls.
Yep.
Hopefully he
can. Again.
What was that?
Double figures again. He had 13.
Yep,
so
13 points a game, or 13 points. So, hopefully even after that 10-day contract and, even with the Lakers get healthy, if it's not with the Lakers, hopefully, he's going to do enough with his next 10 games because he's going to get the opportunity. As you see, he was thrusted in the starting lineup yesterday, played almost 30 minutes. He's shown so far that there's no way that he can not help one of these 30 teams or even 16 to 20 teams that are trying to make the playoffs. I don't see him being out the NBA again. But hopefully the Lakers do give him a full chance. I know they have Rondo and Russell Westbrook. But he's looking really good so far.
That's good for him, man. I want him, I want to see him do well and succeed. For sure.
I'm pretty sure you watched a little bit of Steph Curry breaking Ray Allen's all-time three-point record.
I didn't see it when it happened. I actually saw after. I can't remember why. But, I saw it after, and then I saw the end of the game when Reggie Miller and Ray Allen gave up their jerseys and stuff like that. I love seeing that. And so, it was pretty good. And, he's going to obliterate that record. I don't know who's going to get it ever, if anybody's going to be able to catch that. But good luck.
Yeah, because the man is, yes, he's 33 years old, but he's still in his prime.
Mhm. Is he that now? I didn't even think he was that old. Wow.
Yeah, I think he's 33.
How long has he been in the league now? Since
12 years, I
2009?
believe. 11 to 12 years, one of those two.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
I guess he would be that age. Sure.
Yeah,
Maybe.
so that's just, I think it's just such an awe to break a record halfway through or not halfway through, but still in the midst of your prime. To see somebody break a career record like that it's just, it's jaw dropping, and it's just an amazement to see.
I'm kind of wondering if he's going to go for like 4,000. Because he's going to get 3,000. He's going to get 3,000 here probably within the next couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he's going to go to 4,000 or maybe 4,500 or something like that. I don't know. Because he's at 229. Took him 20 years. So yeah. So I wonder if he's going to go for 4,000. That'd be kind of interesting.
It's definitely obtainable. And we'll all be able to see him Christmas against my Sons at 2 o'clock on Christmas Day. The rest of the Christmas schedule, when you wake up, kids, opening Christmas presents at 9 o'clock, you'll get the Atlanta Hawks New York Knicks game. At 10:30 or 11:30, you'll get the Boston Celtics and Milwaukee Bucks. 2 o'clock, you'll get the Warriors Suns game.
Right.
After that, we'll see who's playing in this game, but I think this will be a fun game. The Brooklyn Nets and LA Lakers, depending on who's playing at 5 o'clock. And then the last game, the Dallas Mavericks, Utah Jazz, 7:30. What game are you most excited to watch?
Oh, good question. Well, for me, it's going to be Brooklyn because I'm a Brooklyn Nets guy. I tried not to be, but I can't help it. I am because they used to be in New Jersey, so I used to go to Nets games, and so I of course, Sonics are always my number one. So people don't have a hissy fit. I still love the Sonics, and when they come back, trust me, I'm still going to be Sonics. But yeah, I do have an affinity to the Brooklyn Nets, so I do want them to do well. And so I will be watching that or rooting for the Nets for sure.
Yeah. I mean, star power. I mean, that's what everybody wants to see. The LA Lakers and the Brooklyn Nets have the most stars playing, depending on who's playing in that game. We know who won't be playing. Anthony Davis out once again. Trying not to roll my eyes at this guy. But
I know. Me too.
Sprained MCL, out at least 4 weeks. This is just history over and over. Every year, you can pencil it in. The AD will miss some type of chunk of the season due to some type of
seems like from December to March, that's that zone that he's going to get hurt multiple times because he'll get hurt, come back, get hurt again. So who knows? I mean, the guy's a phenomenal player, but
yeah, just about to say that. So talented to always be hurt, man.
So what does that mean for the Lakers? I mean, right now they're 16 and 15, and look, let's be honest, they were mediocre with AD.
And it's funny when I write down stuff to talk about every week. Every time in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, I can write a column about the Lakers every week, and it's something new with them every week. Russell is out to COVID, his inconsistent play, to LeBron being hurt, and then LeBron playing like he's 27 and again the last couple of weeks. To now, Anthony Davis being hurt. I don't know. There's just so much inconsistency with this team that it's going, unless they can get a healthy roster and play together for at least a month. I know people don't want to hear this, and I know like everybody wants to see the Lakers and like the Brooklyn Nets and Milwaukee Bucks in the finals. I don't see them getting out the first round if this continues.
Well, I said at the beginning of the season, if you guys remember, and I'm talking about you and our listeners, that the chemistry is bad, and it's still bad. It's not good. So I don't, unless the Lakers make some trades, and look, I'm hearing rumors. I don't know if you believe them or if you agree with them. But I'm hearing that the Lakers are still trying to get rid of Westbrook, and it's hard because LeBron actually wanted him. you know, because they had the deal for Buddy Hield locked up, it seemed, from what I hear. But then LeBron went to, and somebody in the GM went to meet with Westbrook, and that put the kibosh on the Buddy Hield deal and et cetera. So I don't know, you know, LeBron would have to, you know, he'd lose face pretty much if they got rid of Westbrook already.
Yeah.
You know, so they got issues, man. They got problems, and you know, of course, you know, Caruso got what 17 on them yesterday in a victory. So they're not. That's not looking good for them.
Like what they paid Taylor Horton Tucker, they should have paid him.
Yep. Yeah, it looks that way.
Yeah,
so
the whole roster.
I got a question that you probably didn't write down to talk about, and what is up with Minnesota and Jalen Noel? Because every time I see Jalen Noel get minutes, he's productive. However, I see other guys get more minutes and not productive at all, but yet he still remains. He'll play 9 minutes one night, 2 minutes the next night. He played 18 minutes last night, got 16 points.
Yep.
That's production, man.
Yeah. It's really.
He needs to get out of Minnesota, man.
It's really frustrating because of a cousin who's really a close friend with him. And all summer, he was saying that he wanted to get out of Minnesota. But Minnesota didn't want to trade him. But yet you're not also using him as well. And just like you said, every time, 90% of the time, the kid is on the floor, he's playing positive basketball. It doesn't make any sense. You bring in Patrick Beverly, and then on top of that, you bring in McLaughlin, I think Jalen McLaughlin, who has no business to be playing over Jalen. And then you finally put Jalen in the rotation a little bit, and he does nothing but produce. It's not his play at all. And I don't know what it is, but if you're not going to use the kid properly, he still holds value.
Yeah.
Get rid of him and let somebody else use him because it doesn't make any sense at all.
None. Man, you know, it's still so frustrating, man, because, you know, I don't know the kid personally, but I know people that do know him. I've got a friend that coached him, you know, even when he, you know, he's a little guy back, you know, but he still keeps in touch with him. And so, you know, it's frustrating because I'm rooting for the guy. But, you know, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. So anyway.
Oh, well, everybody's just having some bloopers today. Quick power rankings before we get out of here. I still got the Phoenix Suns at number 1, 24-5. The Golden State Warriors right behind them, 24-6. Followed by the Brooklyn Nets, who are still playing well. I don't know how with half the players out. And then the Utah Jazz playing well. And then the Cleveland Cavaliers moved from my honorable mention to number 5 on a 7-game win streak now. Good to see them playing well. That is all the time we have for LidLine Sports today. Oh, Pepe is bad.
It was my turn to go down. Our time is up. Thank you for listening. See you next week. Granville will be back. Peace.
I go work like a doctor when I rock.